great performance there by Joliet Central High School, Carmina Burana by Carl Orff, Don Stinson, the conductor of that ensemble. Always an exciting piece to hear.
Absolutely,
So,
just terrific.
great.
And each of those movements has a character all its own.
Yep,
It's a delight.
Yep.
Can I comment on?
Absolutely.
On that? Do you mind?
Let me introduce you. We're here with Scott Casagrande, conductor of the John Hersey High School that we heard earlier, and we're going to talk with him a little bit about the program. But go ahead, talk about the Carmina.
So, I'll talk more about Joliet Central.
Or that, okay.
Because a lot of band directors out there don't know the history of that school. First high school concert band in the United States, and won the national championship back in the 20s and the 30s, and one of the real storied programs not only in the state of Illinois but also around the United States. And Don is only the 5th director there in 100 years.
Right. Wow.
And when I was a kid here going to school at Illinois, my first time that I ever came to Superstate, I heard the Joliet Central Band play Armenian dances with Ted Liga conducting. And it was, and you know, I grew up in Fairfax County and the bands were fantastic there, but I had never heard a band that sounded like Joliet Central. So it means to see, and Joliet Central hasn't been here for a while now, and all is right in the universe when Joliet Central is at our
you're
state
exactly
event.
right.
Great.
So,
Yes.
And it's a storied program, and one that really served the country well in terms of finding a model to get programs for instrumental programs all across the nation.
yep. A.R. McAllister and Bruce Hausknecht were
You
the
bet.
first two.
And
icons.
Austin Harding was a force in that too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
So you're very involved in the National Band Association. Why don't you tell the viewers maybe who aren't familiar with that organization about that and kind of what you're doing with them?
Sure. So I have the honor of serving the National Band Association as president, and we've been in existence for over 50 years now, and we have great membership, and we have fantastic programs that serve the members that are with us. We just this last week, we've partnered with CBDNA and Music for All to form what we're calling the Music Education Alliance. And we have a new program that we just unveiled this week that is serving underserved and disadvantaged school band programs, which we're really, really, really proud of. It's been in the works
What a great idea.
for 2 years.
Great idea.
Yeah, and it's called the Dr. William P. Foster Project, and it's named after the famed director at Florida A&M, who also overcame great obstacles to be a fantastic teacher and a mentor and a really important person, not only in the disadvantaged and underserved community, but for the entire United States.
Right.
And so we are so very proud that his family has allowed us to use his name, and we put together a great advisory board of a who's who in that community, as well as just great educators, most importantly great educators, and we have division chairs for each one of our 6 divisions who are going to work around the United States to bring people to apply for the award that we have now, as well as a mentorship program. So, and then there's also a best practices resource on the Music Education Alliance. So, I mean, that's the latest huge thing that the NBA is working on. We have a brand new website that is fantastic that our Vice President, Scott Tobias, has done a lot of work on, and as well as many other people. And we're just, you know, our YCCMP, the Young Composer and Conductor Mentorship Program, is going to be running with the Air Force Band at the beginning of June, and we're really excited about the 6 young composers and conductors that were selected for that huge opportunity. They're going to have a great experience, and you know, the list goes on and on and on. I'm really proud to be a part of the organization, and I think we make a big difference in our community.
and as band directors, that in the field, this is our national organization. But we've got state organizations, we've got all kinds of other auxiliary groups. But the National Band Association is our national association, and it deserves our attention. It really does.
So that's the other hat I wear,
Great.
as well as being a high school band director.
Sure. Now, how do directors become members of that? Maybe that would be a question.
You just go to the website, and there's all kinds of stuff there where they can. And a lot of the states at their state conventions have a booth, and you can sign up there as well.
And while you're on the website, check out the publications too, because the listings and everything of what takes place there. As a member, you're a part of the directory, and that's great. You're connected with everybody in the country.
Yeah, that's one of the things that drew me when I was a younger teacher to the National Band Association. The journal is fantastic, and then you also get the instrumentalist. So you get two magazines that are fantastic. Linda Morehouse does a great job of editing the National Band Association journal. It's a great magazine.
It is, really is.
Yep.
Terrific. Let's talk a little bit about Hersey High School. Again, you had a phenomenal performance there earlier with the Verdi, and I'm trying to remember the other piece you played.
Persichetti
Masquerade.
Masquerade.
Thank you. You've obviously, you said you've been there for 18 years now. You've developed a wonderful program. How do you, maybe in terms of what a young director might need to know? I mean, what kind of advice would you offer for somebody who's looking to build something like that? I mean, where do you start, and how do you get to the level that you've brought the group to?
Well, I think there's a lot of ways it happens. I mean, there's the community bringing, you're not only teaching kids, but you're teaching parents, and you're teaching administrators, and to what it takes and the values of having a great band program that go beyond the musical value. I mean, there needs to be more than that, I think. But musical value obviously is the most important aspect, but there are many, many other aspects, and sometimes there's an education that has to happen there, and getting people to buy into the value and the sacrifice that it takes is worth it.
You bet.
So, and I think another piece of it too is just being persistent in problem solving. Every program has issues and things that we have to get through, and identifying what those problems are and a solution to solve them is key. And I think some people give up earlier than they probably should.
Yeah.
But and then you got to be a great musician. You got to work at that.
Yeah, you got to work at that. That's constant work.
Yep.
You just never quit at that.
Well, and I think this project with NBA that you were just talking about, I think that's going to be a tool that can help a lot of young directors, especially ones that are maybe a little further flung, that aren't in a major metropolitan area.
That's
where
right.
They've got resources with local universities and mentor teachers and things like that to not feel so alone, and to give them some tools so that they don't burn out early, and so that they are able to find longevity in the profession.
And I also like to think that the NBA provides good advice. The people that we have writing in the journal are very well respected and have a lot of experience, and whereas in today's age with the internet, you can find anything, and just because it's printed doesn't mean that it's the right advice.
Right.
And there's a lot of places that you can go on the internet to find the wrong advice.
Well, and I think that you were mentioning before the young composer and conductor mentoring project that you're talking about here. That this is another step in the right direction. That we're not just going through the process of helping those who have a great deal of need and lack of experience, but in this case, we're identifying people who are really young folks who are at the top of the game, and then we want to give them as much information and help and assistance to get them there as we can, because they're going to become the next mentors. They're going to be the people that are leading the way.
Yep.
Right. This is preserving music education, preserving the profession, preserving our art, really. I mean, when you think about it with the literature and everything like that.
Yeah, the wind band symposiums that the NBA has run for a couple of years now. My father kind of got that rolling with a couple other people. Alfred Watkins had some role a long time ago to start those symposiums, and we just kind of continued what was happening there, and we've got them happening all over the country, where a few bands will come together with a panel and spend the day, play for one another, get great master classes, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, I should say that Scott's father is John Casagrande. Many people wouldn't realize that because Scott is so much better looking than his father. But
You're starting trouble
Awesome.
again. Yeah.
I'm just trying to cause trouble. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, yeah. My father's probably laughing louder at home right now. So
No, and actually, a couple of those symposiums are actually archived on banddirector.com. We have past 2 years we've gone to Westchester University in Pennsylvania and done a live feed like this, and kind of it has been an interesting format because we would have the conductors work with the group for about 45 minutes, and then we'd kind of do our halftime report, and
Right.
we'd pull them out of the rehearsal, and we'd talk about what they had been working on, to help that band get better. I mean, these were bands that weren't at the completed, polished stage. They were more at the beginning of the process of the repertoire they were working on. So it was a great insight to see how to, fix concerns that are
Right,
happening.
wonderfully valuable.
So we pulled out the guest conductors to talk about what they'd been working on, what they're going to work on next, and then the audience can watch that. So that's all archived. And along with that, we had some tremendous conversations with the high school band directors that were there. We had a kind of a round robin discussion about various topics, about repertoire, about scheduling, all sorts of things. It's all there. So take advantage of that, because that's been some wonderful work that NBA has done to make that available.
And one of the things that I can say that as far as the leadership here, Scott Casagrande is the president of the NBA. If there is anyone that's out there that has questions about it, that I'm sure that you can contact Scott online and to get information. There's going to be a wealth of information on the website itself. And there's a listing of past presidents that are all there. Those are people that may be in your area, and contacting them. That this is the way we move up in the field, and the NBA is a very worthwhile project.
What is the website?
nationalbandassociation.com.
All right, easy to remember. There you go.
Yep.
All right, Scott, thank you so much for
Yeah,
your time. It was
thank
great
you.
talking with you.
Yeah,
A wonderful
great
performance
talking to you guys.
today.
Always enjoy
Yeah.
it.